your mind while we laugh and play. Here comes DJ Boom, Shaheem, and our Debbie. Yes, we're on our way to brighten up your day. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. From the shore to the here we go. From the shore to People Show. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. From the shore, here we go, here we go. Be more. Asbury Park, New York. You know we got y'all. Here we go, here we go, here we go, y'all. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
What's up, everybody? I'm hearing the echo, guys. Let's check our sound. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of From the Shore to Be More. I, of course, am one of your fabulous hosts, the one, the only Shaheem. Let's go.
And I too am a host. My name is Deborah Singletary, also known as Aunt Debbie.
She make it sound so minimal. And of course, you got yours truly, DJ Boom, here in the building each and every Sunday here to make it do what it do right along with these two. What is happening, everybody?
Yes, he is. And yes, of course, we are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. Heard. Thank you very much on that. And it's great, fantastic even, to be back for another episode with you guys. We have a great topic, and I'm looking forward to get into it. Let's get to it, everybody, all right? Our topic today, dollars in dating, ladies and gentlemen. That's our topic today. That's right, and we have a special guest who's going to be joining us for that topic. Thank you, Junior.
Yeah.
For that topic today, Miss Shelly Washington is going to be joining us today, a friend of Boom. Boom, you want to talk about your friend real quick?
No, not really.
Your choice.
She is a very opinionated woman, respectful opinions. But when we came up with the topic, I just knew the perfect person to come on and help talk about this topic here, because it's going to be very, very interesting. I look forward to having her on the show.
Right, we appreciate her joining us for today's show. I think everybody's going to have an opinion on this. With us today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to talk about it real briefly. Is I saw something, I think, on social media a while back, and what it was a situation where there was a young man and a young woman. They were dating, fall in love, decided they wanted to cohabitate and live with each other. Well, the conversation came up about how to split the bills. I'm gonna leave it at that. We'll talk more about it later when we get into it. I'm gonna encourage everybody to please comment on the show, everyone. I want to thank everyone who did comment on last week's show. It was a great conversation. So thank you everyone who contributed to the experience. It was definitely great. Thank you everybody. Appreciate that, right? Last week's conversation was how to deal with challenging people. So, if you missed it and missed all those great comments, make sure you go back and catch it on our YouTube channel, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, and please tell a friend. Right, guys?
Right.
Let's try to get them numbers up. Definitely, everybody. Hello to all our Facebook friends, too, by the way. Thanks for holding us down. Real quick before we move on, and we're going to move on soon because I know it's going to be a good conversation. I just want to say, rest in peace to Peebo Bryson, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if all of you heard, but I think on Monday, Peebo Bryson passed away, everyone, of I believe a stroke. And it was very tragic. So I just wanted to say, and we all want to say, rest in peace to Peebo Bryson, who did have some great hits, right, Boom?
Has had some great hits. The man had a phenomenal voice. Had multiple hits, not only by himself but with multiple artists. So yes, absolutely. Shout out to Peebo Bryson, and definitely rest in peace. Your music will most certainly live on.
It most certainly will, especially in Disney films. I don't know if you guys know, but he sung a lot of big hits in Disney movies like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. So again, rest in peace to the legendary people. Bryson, hey, on Debbie, glad you made it back with us. Is everything okay on your end?
Well, they changed things in the platform, and I couldn't figure out how to make it fill the screen, so I couldn't get in it, but I'm in it now.
I'm glad. Well, we're glad you're in it. We're glad you're in it.
I see the same thing too, Auntie. The screen is small now, so it's like it's smaller than what it was. So
well, you have to double click. You have to double click. There's a little icon. You have to double click on that, and then it made it big.
Yeah. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. You might see some technical things going on because our platform changed some things. So if you see some glitches, just bear with us for a few minutes. In fact, I'm having a few issues on my end getting the show started this morning, right, Junior?
Right.
Again, but we're working on it. We're going to survive. Everything's going to be all right?
But we're here.
We are here. We are here. And not only are we here, but so are all of the Knicks fans. I want to say this real fast before we go to the show. Congratulations to the New York Knicks! Yes! Halfway there. Yeah, great. Thanks, Julia. Halfway there to an NBA championship. My heart is just beating thinking about it. I'm a huge Knicks fan. I've been since the mid-'80s, and so I am just, I don't know, over the hills right now, thinking about what could happen. How about you guys?
That's the reason why.
How do you become a fan of a losing team? Like, how do you pick the Knicks to be your team when they in the 80s they were already not winning, right?
Well, no, they didn't win championships, but they had good teams. Like, what made me fall in love with the team in the mid 80s, and I don't want to stay this too long, was Bernard King. He was just such a special player. Of course, played for the Knicks. I can't remember the years, but it was the mid 80s. But he was such a special player that, because I was a big basketball fan anyway. I fell in love with him, fell in love with the team, and it's been a romance ever since. That's how I became a Knicks fan. So, again, shout out to my team. Yes. Congratulations.
I just defaulted. I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I just defaulted in rooting for them because of being from Jersey. I'm a Lakers fan. Like, I root for the Lakers, and I'm not a LeBron fan. So y'all folks are not you must be. No, I'm not a LeBron fan. I was actually mad that he made it to the team, but I root for the Knicks by default of coming from living in New Jersey. So I always want to see the North win.
Everybody's rooting for the Knicks. Congratulations to the team. Hopefully they can take it. Game 3 is tomorrow, everybody.
At this point, I don't see no problem. I mean, I don't see if they keep playing with the consistency that they're playing at. I don't see how it's going to be lost outside of other stuff, and I'm not even going to mention it because I'm not trying to jinx them. But I want them to take it all away.
Nah, don't jinx them. All right, we don't have to stay too long on it. Let's keep this thing rolling. I got a few people I want to shout out, so I want to get to this part of the show, everybody. Birthdays. So let's keep the ball. What we doing, Junior? Rolling. Happy birthday to all of you. Gemini's still having your birthdays today. Yeah, Gemini, okay, in the past week or the upcoming week. Still, okay. They still on the day then. All right, Geminis. Happy birthday to you. Deb, you got any birthdays you want to shout out real fast?
Since I don't, I'll just say about Geminis that part of their gift is being able to put the unnameable and give it names. So they're very good at putting language to undifferentiated space, and they can point and call it something. And that's why Geminis are the writers of the zodiac, or the Gemini energy is the writer of the zodiac.
Okay, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that. That's for sure. All right. Well, thank you on Debbie. Boom. You got any birthdays you want to shout out real fast?
I just got one, honestly, that I could think of off the top of my head. Well, two of them. I'm gonna say happy birthday to Nakari, who was my stepson at one point, but his birthday was yesterday. So shout out to Nakari celebrating his birthday, and I got to shout out my best friend Jason, whose birthday was June 3rd. He had a party yesterday at his house, and I did go to the party. FYI, people are wondering, I did go to the party, and the rain decided it was time for us to leave. So it literally blew through there, not rain. It blew through, like literally. The tents went flying, all types of stuff. So yeah. But happy birthday to Jason and any other Gemini that is not coming to my head right now. Shout out to the Geminis in their season.
All right, shout out to the Geminis. I just got a couple of them run through real fast so we can keep this thing moving. I want to first shout out my nephew, Kaishawn. His birthday, June 7th, today. Happy birthday, Kaishawn. I hope you enjoy your day. Also, to Big Cuz, Rod Gotti. His birthday is tomorrow, June 8th. Happy birthday, Cuz! Big up. Thanks for supporting the show. I appreciate it. I see all your comments. And yeah, again, thanks everybody for all the comments last week. We couldn't get them all, but thank you. Keep the comments coming. We appreciate that. And my wife and I would like to shout out a cousin of ours, Jerio Scaniers. June 6th was his birthday. So happy birthday, Jerio. We hope you enjoyed your day. That's all my personal ones. Just a couple celebs, everybody, and we're going to keep this ball rolling. I want to say happy birthday, first of all, to New York's own Keenan. Keenan Wayne's from the biggest family in the world, I think. Nah, happy birthday to Keenan. June 8th is his birthday, so it's coming up. Happy birthday, Keenan. We definitely love you. Also, since we talked about the Knicks, I want to say happy birthday to this guy here. New York Knicks star Jordan Clarkson, everybody. He's coming off the bench, but he's still a superstar. Happy birthday, June 7th. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday to him. Also, to somebody you might recognize, this guy here, tomorrow, June 8th, will be Kanye's birthday. So happy birthday, Kanye West. We appreciate you and your music. I still think you're a little crazy, but I love your music. How about that? One more, and I'm just going to keep the ball rolling, everybody. I couldn't let the show go without saying happy birthday to this guy here. Purple rain, purple rain. Happy birthday to the Purple Man himself. Rest in peace to Prince, everybody. But June 7th today would have been his birthday. Happy birthday in heaven to the legend.
You know what I appreciate about Prince?
Mm-hmm.
He is so sensual, but it's beyond sex.
Boom, is that you playing with the screen?
Huh?
Yeah, you went away.
You went away.
I did that on purpose.
Oh, I like being on the bottom. All right.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
He is just so sensual, and it's beyond gender, and it's beyond age, and he really teaches me, like, I can enjoy the sensuality of the world around me. I don't have to possess it, go to bed with it. I just really love him. I think he
was definitely erotic. I will say that. I mean, the pants with the booties cut out of them. Come on, that was a lot. That was a lot.
I like it.
I know. I thought you might, but anyway.
I forgot I was on air. I thought I
was. Before we take the show into a whole different direction, let me just say to everybody that if you have a celebration of any kind, we sure appreciate it if you added our small businesses to your celebration. And this is one way you can do that, everybody. Hit it, Junior. Reach DJ Boom and Shush Entertainment at boomsquaddjs.com, 678-334-1745 for your next big event or karaoke night. And to attend the next Silent Fitness event, be sure to reach out to Shush Entertainment, a subsidiary of D3 Lux Entertainment. Before stepping out for the night, look for the latest in women's fashion at terryscloset.com. Step into Terry's Closet and step out in style. terryscloset.com, your closet's new best friend. and reach Deborah Singletary at visioncarriers@aol.com for astrology consultations, art workshops, wedding ceremonies, and rituals. Be sure to reach out to visioncarriers@aol.com, 212-234-1329. All right, and everyone, I just want to say this. We added some very nice, beautiful, even sundresses to our collection at Terry's Closet. And we do have all sizes. We do have sizes for the plus size, curvy women too. So I appreciate all the women to go out there and encourage, to go out there and check out our new collection. How about that, everybody? I appreciate that. And also,
that's just what I was waiting for. Sundresses.
Sundress season, yeah, it's here, everybody. So go check us out for sure. And while you guys are doing that, we're gonna keep the ball rolling. Hit it.
I guess right now we should start the show.
DTVN movies, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite things to do. I'm hearing an echo, everybody. Yeah, let's check our sounds. We're going to run through this real fast so we can get our guest on, because we do have a special guest, lady. And I can't wait to get to this topic, everyone. So let me just start with on Debbie. Debbie, did you see anything interesting this week?
Well, child, I was watching Squatters on Hulu.
Oh.
It's a phenomenon where people just walk in people's homes and set up shop and break up their stuff. And the law was like you can't just put them out. You have to give. Oh my God. So I was going to buy a house, but I'm not buying one now. In my apartment, okay.
Right.
Where'd you see that?
On Hulu.
Hulu. Okay. All right.
That's horrible. It's horrible. Go watch it.
I'm definitely gonna go check it out now. I'm absolutely gonna check it out.
So yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off that. Yes, I watched it. Matter of fact, it's being watched as we speak by Tawanda because I suggested for her to watch it. It is absolutely diabolical. Is my word of the year, y'all. So y'all gonna hear me say that a lot. It is absolutely diabolical. It's
you hear that, Junior?
Like the mind of people.
We checking it out.
To just like what?
Why are you asking me?
All right, no, I'm gonna check it out for sure.
That sounds like that would be your thing.
I'm gonna check it out for sure. No, but thank you. I'm gonna check that out, everybody.
And one of the episodes happened in Newark.
I saw that one last night. Yeah,
somebody got shot. Boy, mess around with a dog like that, boy.
Look,
I had my gun. I was ready to go do something myself. It was so horrible.
Oh, that's how it make you feel, right? Like, listen.
Wow, all right. I'm gonna go check it out, and I encourage all our viewers to go check it out too. Real quick, because we do have somebody waiting, everybody. I just want to say this. I didn't see much. It's been all basketball for me all week. Trust me when I tell you. I mean, all basketball. But I did have a chance to go back and check out the documentary by W.E.B. Du Bois. Bernice recommended that last week, everyone, and so I did check that out. That was good. I learned some stuff about the man that I did not know. Appreciate that, Bernice, and thanks for supporting the show. Also, boom, you too. I went and saw the documentary Crash that you recommended. Thought that was excellent too. That was on Netflix. I saw the documentary on W.E.B. Du Bois on PBS and Crash on Netflix. Everyone, they both were good. I encourage everyone to go see them.
Do you think she deserved what she got? I just need to ask that question.
Oh yeah. I think so.
Absolutely.
So. That's just my opinion. Everybody come back, share your opinions next week. How about that? Can we do that? All right. I'm going to shout you out in 1 minute, Junior. I just want to get things going real fast, and then I will get to that. All right, everybody. If you have topic ideas, or if you are a business looking to support our wonderful and growing program here, this is a way that you can get in contact with us, and this is how you can do that. Hit it, Junior. To contact us, You can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment, join the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You could also watch, like, and comment, join the show on our social media pages. Our Facebook or Instagram is at From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is at 2_Be More. And our email is fromtheshore@gmail.com. You could also call the show at 732-455-2503. If no one answers, please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you. And please, tell a friend. Please tell a friend. Let's get those numbers up, everybody. I'm going to get to our guests and get to our topic in a second. Before I do, I just want to mention that I do have a partner in crime, who I forgot to mention earlier in the show, sitting next to me, controlling the boards over here, my son Junior. My son Junior also has his own thing going on YouTube. It's called Otaku Everything at Anime Cannibal. So I just would encourage everyone that if you want to talk about anime or gaming of any kind, you can reach him and have that conversation on Otaku Everything, and that's at Anime Cannibal on YouTube. Thank you, son. All right, thank you very much. Now, the time you all been waiting for. It's time for us to get into this topic: dollars in dating, and we have a special guest with us today to have this conversation. Boom, you want to introduce your guest?
I gotta do it again. Oh, I was over that.
I don't even remember. Okay.
Oh,
I know her name is Shelley, and I can't wait to meet her. Well, just bring her on, man. Come on.
No, I got it.
Introduce this wonderful woman that I've been friends with for way too long now. Ups, downs, insides, and outs, but she's still here, still one of my besties rocking with me, and I really appreciate her. When I called her and asked her to do the show, immediately she said yes. So I am honored to have her with us on the show today, and my business partner too. Miss Shelley Washington.
Hello.
Hey.
Nice to meet you all. Nice to see you again. I do remember you, Aunt Debbie, but I know it's been a long time, so it's nice to see you again.
Good to see you. You're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
See,
You
we
too.
are.
And you're intelligent. Your intelligence exudes from your face.
Listen, Auntie, I said don't get on the show lying to people. I said that from the door, and here we go.
Well, either way, Shelley, I want to thank you for joining the show today and contributing to today's conversation. It's going to be a good one. Let me just go over what sparked the conversation again, and then we'll go right into it. All right, everybody? All right. Now, like I said earlier in the show, I saw something on social media, ladies and gentlemen, and what it involved was a couple. Now, I don't want to get gender specific about it, but I'm just going to tell the story the way that I heard it. Now, there was a young man and a young woman who entered into a relationship. Now, the young man makes $200,000 a year. The young lady makes $40,000 a year. Well, they've been dating for a while, and they decide they want to get an apartment together in the big city of New York, which is very expensive. If you know the tri-state area, you know what it's like. Now, the rent for this apartment is $3,000 a month. How, and this is the question, how should they split the rent? And I got a bunch of reactions for this. When I told this to my daughter, my youngest daughter, oh, she lost it. But there were comments on either side of the conversation. And so I want to hear from everybody out there. What is your opinion on this? Especially, comment, please. Share your opinions with us, everybody. Now, I'm going to tell you what mine is. No, don't make faces. Because I'm going to go from my own personality, and everybody's different. Me, she ain't going to pay no rent. I'm going to do that. But, should I be obligated to do that, or should I be expected to do that? I think that's the bigger question, right?
That is the big question. It's the obligation behind it. You know,
should I be expected?
Like me making $200,000 a year, I'm automatically going to be thinking, especially we're dating. It's not a roommate situation. So we're dating. I'm automatically going to be like, okay, so I'm paying this and blah, blah, blah. Life goes on. Like that's automatic for me, but I know it's not automatic for everybody. Everybody doesn't view things in that way. So if we're not moving in as roommates, then I don't think I still don't think it should be expected though. But
Well, I
when
mean,
we,
I think you got to come in with the idea of he knows that she's making $40,000 before they actually move in. So let's just be for real. When we talk about obligations and expectations, I mean, there's no mystery there that there's a financial gap in the midst of there, right? So
Right.
when we're talking about what is expected and should be required, if the gap was a little closer, then I could see a mystery. But considering the gap is so broad, like, come on, he knows what he's dating. There's no mystery there.
That's why I say the dating part plays the factor to me. But the so what I asked before when we decided to do the show is, what if it was reversed? What if she was the $200,000 and he was the $40,000? Then what?
is it the same
Well,
thing?
I think so, yes. Because again, there's no mystery in who you're dating. I mean, for the most part, when you first meet someone, you say, well, what do you do? And if you say you're a waitress, yeah, there is a financial window around what you're doing as a waitress. If you're saying you're a senior exec at a multi-billion-dollar company, then there's a window around what that person is probably making. So
Okay.
let's be for real. I mean, the expectation either way is going to be what makes the most sense. Think about it. If he's making $200,000 a year and he wants to split the rent equally, then that means he has to live in a less luxurious place. If that's the case, he's not going to want to do that. So he's paying the rent.
All right. A lot of things. A lot of things came up. One, well, first of all, communication is important, right? I think we started there. Communication is important.
Mm-hmm.
I said this. What if he or the partner doesn't want to divulge all their financial information? Maybe he doesn't want to let her know that he's making $200,000 a year, and he's just saying, I get paid pretty well by my job, and I'm comfortable, and leave it at that. Is there a problem with that?
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, right?
Straight
Like,
up.
at what point, like, if with the minute I have a date, I don't go and here's my financial situation.
No.
Like, it's going to be fairly obvious if someone says to me, hey, let's go to the towers on top of the world, you know, that restaurant where you have to wear a gown to get in and it's $500. I'm going to say, oh my God, I can't budget that. And I'm not going to, and I'm not going to say, so you pay for me. I'm going to say I can't budget it. The ball's in his court. I'm not asking him how much money he makes, or if it's a woman, I'm not asking her how much money she makes. I'm just saying what I am prepared to spend.
Right. On your end.
I'll tell you a story about Shelley, you will appreciate this. So I'm a young woman in my 40s. And I meet a man at a museum, and he makes my heart beat hard. And he puts his head on my chest and says, I'm going to marry you after class. And I was like, haha. And he invited me to meet him on his job where he was working, which was in a museum. So me in Brooklyn, I go all the way to the Bronx. I go to the job and I am greatly enamored. He's ready to leave his job. And I go, oh, I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat.
Nothing.
He said, oh, I don't have any money. And I said, I do. I took him to dinner and I ended up paying that whole relationship. So I'd like to kick off dollars and dating with the idea that who pays what can establish a habit. So I'm just sharing that.
Can I ask you a question though,
agree
real quick? Real quick. The same relationship you were just talking about, where you said you had to pay throughout that relationship. I'm assuming eventually the relationship ended. Did it end over money?
It could be. And I mean, I didn't think of it in that sense, but I think it showed who he was, his
Okay.
mentality. That it wasn't exactly money, but let me tell you, he ended up getting a master's degree while staying in my apartment. Because I actually made it possible by my, and if there's any men listening now, don't even think about it. Learn that lesson.
I agree with you on that. I mean, it does set a precedence, unfortunately, and either male or female. What you present at the beginning, how you're willing to spend, what kind of environment you're willing to finance, it does play a part. Now, here's the thing though, when I date, I never talk about how much money I make. Like, I have men that I've dated for years and they have no clue exactly what I make. I don't feel like it's necessary. And the last guy I was dating actually had a concern with that. He kept asking, well, what do you make? What do you make? And I said, me telling you a dollar amount, what difference is that going to make? What does that do for you to know what I make? Does it change anything? Does your life change because you now know this information? Are you going to change?
He was thinking it possibly could.
Well, it did not. The point is that it's no reason to tell anyone that's not financially benefiting from me how much I make.
How much
we're
you
not
make.
living together. I'm married because I don't choose to live with somebody I'm not married to. That's my preference. If we're not financially budgeting together, you don't need to know. And if I choose to treat you to something, if I choose to take you out to dinner, etc., again, allow it to be my choice, not an expectation or a demand. Allow that to be the preference I set.
But that's a double-edged sword. That's a double-edged sword right there, because women have to do the same thing. Allow it to be my choice. You know what I mean? Right. Don't automatically expect, because I'm the man, I'm going to automatically be the one doing this. Now, me personally, Shelly, you've known me for forever, so I'm gonna, go over above and beyond and try to make it happen, even if I can't freaking afford it. I've done those things. So for me personally, yeah, I would. If I'm calling you to say, hey, do you want to go out? You want to do whatever? Yes, I'm footing the bill. But that double-edged sword is, don't automatically, expect that to be the thing, because if you call me and say, hey, do you want to meet at the such and such, then even in that case, I still may pay, but I should see you fumbling around in your purse. So I could be like, no, I got it. You know what I mean?
I've always questioned whether or not I should do that whole, let me leave do you want me to leave the tip? I always question that, because bottom line is, like, if you invite me out, especially early on in a dating scenario, I do honestly expect that kind of precedence in a man. I'm sorry, I do. It's not a gender role type thing, but come on, I want to see that man is able to provide in that manner, and that's his preference. Because a woman gives. Let's just be honest. When you think about the role that a woman has played over time in dating, we give, we do, we are there. And I'm not saying this new generation craziness. Come on, y'all. There's a lot more women that are sane than are crazy. I just truly want to believe. But but if we are in a solid relationship, for you to say, okay, this week this pay period, we have X amount of money to spend. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Are you contributing to that? Am I contributing to that X amount of money? I love that. I actually dated a guy where it was that simple. Okay, we have X amount that we're going to spend between this pay period. We can plan something, we could do something, but we got to stay within this budget. I'm a budgeter, so that just spoke my language 100%. But early on, yeah, I do have that expectation.
All right, but let me throw this at you. Same scenario about the apartment, right? Okay, before you guys move together, you discuss all it. You work it out. We're going to split everything 50-50. Now, this is before you know he make $200,000 a year. Okay? But, you guys discussed it, and so you agreed 50-50. Now, later on, you move in and everything. Somehow you find out now that he makes $200,000 a year.
I think, I'm sorry, Shelly, go ahead.
I just want to say, whoever makes that agreement without understanding or information is crazy. If I know that I'm a waitress, he's a financial executive at a, like, there is no comparison that we're going to split 50. That's crazy.
And I believe that we really want to be talking about values, and we're assuming that value is in the dollar alone. My value is my intelligence. My value is my resourcefulness. My value is my emotional growth and maturity. So if you make more money, I don't automatically assume that you have more value to add to the relationship. That's a conversation. And I think, so it's a dialogue that two people may ultimately need to have. Maybe money factors into it, but oh my God, I've always wanted to go to South Africa. Let's go. I can't afford it. All right. See ya. I'll go. I'll send you a postcard.
Great story for you.
We talked about value. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shelley.
Yeah, I want to say I did the same thing. I dated someone that they just were not financially able to travel as much as I could. And I talked to him about it. I literally had the conversation. It's like, I want to go X, Y. I'm going, I got this great deal that I found. If you want to go, more than welcome. And he got very upset that I actually went without him. And it's like, but I gave you the opportunity to go with me if you wanted to, but I wasn't going to pay your way. And I wanted to go. So just because you were not financially able to go at that time, that meant you were not financially to go. Why did it have to mean that I was not financially?
We were supposed to be financially unable to go. But real quick, I want to spin back to what Debbie was talking about when she talked about values, because that came up in our conversation on Wednesday too. I think Wednesday or Thursday. For instance, in a relationship, she might not make as much as the young man does, and I don't want to keep getting gender specific because we talked about that too. A partnership, however that plays out. The one person's making more money. Is there value if the other person does things like does the cooking? Is there value in that? They clean the house up, keep things going. Is there value in that? I think even sexual relationships, is there value in these type of things?
We're talking transactional. And transactional is different from values. I may have the money, and I may make a slamming lamb something with potato salad. So it doesn't mean that I have more money and Mr. Nope can cook because he can't cook. I don't. So I help me out here, y'all. But I think there's difference between you do this and I do this. There's got to be a kind of even flow if we're compatible. I expect to be some. If Shelley comes to New York, where do you live, Shelley?
I'm in North Carolina.
Well, you're invited.
Shout out to North Carolina.
Shelley shows up in New York City and says, "Can I stop by and see you?" What am I going to say? Boom. Yes, but I don't cook, but I'll order Chinese food. Right. So now I've graduated to top.
But North Carolina, go out to some fantastic place to eat because it's a lot of great places in New York. Go ahead.
But I'm going to discuss it with her. I'm going to say, well, I don't cook, but there's a great restaurant. We're going to talk about it. I don't think there would be an issue. I don't see why there should be an issue with a man unless I've got some operating from acculturation, like the way that culture says a man should be.
Well, I believe that. I'm sorry. I believe that the idea is when you enter a relationship with anyone, you make an agreement, the both of you, that we're in this together. Right? Mm-hmm. And so this is an expectation of a certain kind of openness and honesty between the two of you. Mm-hmm. And that involves finances. That's the bottom line, right? And so, no, that doesn't involve finances, so they shouldn't be open about their finances? I say yeah, because how can you grow together if you're not open about your finances?
That's not on the first date. So we really
Not on the
need to
first date.
say,
I
are
said
we
in a relationship.
talking about, at what point, Shelley, at what point do you think how much money someone makes might come into the picture?
I think I have to answer that in two ways because I'm Southern, very traditional in that manner, spiritually speaking. Marriage is definitely, when you start talking about marriage and entering into that fiance mode, there should be a conversation around what you actually make, what kind of debt you actually have, and the overall expectation where you plan to be in so many years.
Right.
What's your end goal? What's your retirement plan and schedule? Those conversations, one, start there. If you're someone that's comfortable with living with someone and cultivating that relationship, then it should start before you ever move in with that person. Because again, it's to what you're saying, Shane, it's conversation, it's communication. If you're not clear, then get clear. Definitely
be
before.
Clear. Yeah, I agree. That's how you build together. It's
One
hard to
thing
build
we
with
leave
someone
out-
who's not being honest about what's going on with them.
Right. One thing we're leaving out is we know for a fact that women date up, men date down.
What?
So that's a fact.
I dated up. My wife is dynamite. I dated up.
Where do you get
I dated up. Tell that to my wife.
That's a fact.
It
Where
is
do
a
you
fact.
get that from?
It is a
Because
fact.
it is not a fact in my life or my friend's life.
I gotta
never
disagree.
That
thought
doesn't
of that.
necessarily mean every woman on the planet. Women date up, men date down. Period.
Explain
Because-
yourself, Boom.
So what you're calling down, hold up a second. If a man is interested in me and he finds out that my income is not very much, or he could tell by how I'm dressing, he is not dating down. Let me tell you, if you get to date me, you have a sparkling intelligence, you have resourcefulness, you have warmth. Don't, just because I make less money than you're not dating down. So I think that's the challenge here, that we're defining people's values by how much money they make.
It doesn't, for me personally, it doesn't have anything to do with how much money they make. Somebody, if I met a homeless person and I fell for them, it doesn't matter to me. But overall, that is the fact. That's the
It
case.
is not.
It is.
I'm gonna disagree too.
It's totally.
I could care less that all of you agree, but it's a fact. It is a fact that
To you.
a woman will meet a
All right.
cab driver. She'll meet a cab driver or an executive CEO, and who she gonna want to date faster than the other one? She's gonna go to the goddamn CEO because he's up. The cab driver is probably.
I would add a little bit to
Wait,
what
telling me no, it's a fact. Like how you keep saying no, it's true. It doesn't necessarily have to be you yourself, but it is a fact.
That's not necessarily true. Shelley, what do you have to say about that?
Here's a caveat I do add to what he's saying. I mean, it's very hard to date men being successful and they're not. I have to admit that. It is somewhat difficult because there's a level of resentment and they feel inferior, and then it causes other things. I've experienced that. I'm not saying that every man, I mean, let's just not go on one end of the spectrum or the other, but I have had that experience. It was very hard for them to accept. And again, I never divulged how much. I mean, obviously you're going to tell once you actually start dating someone where their financial means are, but it's very hard sometimes for women to date men that are making less or less than them. Let me say it that way.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's an honest answer. Me myself, I'm just going to say this, and I know, Boom, you don't care, but I do disagree. I believe I dated up. I think I married a wonderful woman. She definitely helped me improve myself. So to me, that was dating up. I'm good. As far as the other guys up there,
I don't care how you spin it. The reality is the reality. We could semantic all we want, but the reality is the reality. It doesn't matter.
If you had something factual that you could show me like that, I might tend to believe it. But that's what you believe. That's fine. And you're entitled to that. I don't believe that.
Believe it. It's a fact. Like, come on. Let's stop. Let's pause.
All right, I'm not trying to change your mind. You believe what you believe.
If the executive which for me, success has to do with how well you communicate. But if the executive is cold and only interested in money and his main interest is rising to the top, to the top, and the cab driver loves music and loves to go out dancing and knows the
Yeah,
language of the soul, I want to date, I want to be friends with the cab driver. What
I
do I
got
need
you.
with a successful
But
man who is regarded successful when he's cold and he can't speak the language of the soul? He can only talk
how do we
finance
know that?
and
How do we know
and
that
Was it?
before?
Was that in the movie? That was in the movie.
take me
What,
to the restaurant where the food is the most delicious. He's going to take me to the restaurant with the best ambiance. I want to go to the Chinese restaurant where all of the people sit around the table and they eat together. That's an experience. So I'm looking for an experience. And money doesn't always buy experience, creative
But
imagination.
you're not going to know whether the cab driver is this soft, sentimental, da 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 da. You're not going to know if the CEO is an asshole until you actually talk to them. I'm talking complete visual. You see this CEO in a suit and you see this cab driver in some overalls, automatically the thought process is going to be, I'm trying to holler at him. Then you'll discover
No,
that
it's
You're
not
welcome, babe.
true.
I don't want
I'm
that
going to
hug.
tell you, a man, I, as an artist, a lot of the men in my, environment are artists. And I met a man who was a licensed, he had his own business. And he came to pick me up and he was clean. He had on a suit, cufflinks. I opened the door and I laughed. I laughed so hard because I was accustomed to men picking me up with dashikis on. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was funny. I wasn't impressed. And then, so we got in his car. We went to where we were going, and the other men were like, "He drives a BMW." I said, "A WB? What? What is he?" I didn't give a crap. All I wanted was my ass going to sit in the seat and be driven somewhere? That's not how every woman thinks. That might be, maybe you've chosen women like that. Maybe that's how you feel about yourself. But I'm going to tell you, not all women care about that. Do the car go? Thank
Do
you.
the cargo. There was a movie about that. What was it with Kevin Hart and where Taraji P. Henson was dating Michael Ealy and found out she was a CEO, wasn't she? What movie was that? And he was a
It was
waiter.
something like that. Something
Waiter,
along
remember he
those
was parking car. He took that car.
I
Think like a
it was
man.
what women want.
Think like a man won.
Yeah.
So it played out right for him in that scenario, but all right. But we also talked when we had this conversation. We also talked about expectations, and what I mean is, in the past, young girls were raised in a way where they were almost dependent on men. They were taught to marry. This man's going to take care of you, yada yada. Of course, I'm going back some time, ladies and gentlemen. But we talked about that, and we talked about the fact that could there be some carryover from past generations to the new world, where subconsciously women might be tending to be thinking that way.
What do you say, Shelley?
So if I'm getting your question, you're basically saying, do women still have that expectation of men taking care of them, providing for them? Correct?
Yes.
I think in some ways, yes, absolutely. It is innate. You've seen the benefit of it, and you've seen the tragedy of it. I mean, but I think that in today's day and age, yeah, I do still. I do. I'm gonna be honest. I do. I look at wanting someone that's able to provide support as well as financial support. That's willing to clean a little bit and help.
Who's gonna catch that mouse?
Definitely catch the mouse, the spiders, and handle it. I'm not gonna do it. Here's the deal. I absolutely do not do anything outside. I feel like my guy, that's your job. I give
yeah.
it to you. If you can't
Oh,
handle that, then it's going to be a problem
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm not going to do it. We're going to be walking through trees after a while because it's not going to happen. So,
All
but
right.
again, I do believe it's all based on conversation and what you two agree upon. I have dated men that actually don't do anything handy. Give me a drill and I'm happy. I will build and I will, because I enjoy that. But I know men that just absolutely can't hammer a nail, and it wasn't a problem.
Right. Okay. Fair
In,
enough.
in, in my observation, marrying a man for support is volunteering, could be volunteering to go to prison, because often the person
What?
who feels they're supporting you, they feel that they have the last word, that they have more value in the relationship, and that they can
Oh
tell
yeah.
you, maybe what to do. They kind of
Yes.
own you by that.
Yes.
So I don't think, yes, I have aunts who, well, I was always a single person, Shelley. I never married nobody intentionally. And whenever I would get a guy, and if it was a good relationship, I would introduce him to my aunts. And they would go, oh, they'd be all excited. And I used to wonder why, when they had been so miserable in their marriages, that there was that,
Mm.
that concept that a man, had more value if he made me miserable than
Wow.
I had by myself single. And go ahead,
Wow.
Shelley.
Oh, I
Wow.
just want to throw this question out to you because my girlfriend and I have had this conversation around the fact that when women see another woman married or single, they have this expectation, oh, you're single, so you're less than, you are not capable, you are
Oh
not
wow.
valuable because you're single. And then when you finally get someone, they're like, oh, she's, this person's married, so they must be capable, able, and this great person
Wow. Is
because
that
Single
they
and
are
true?
pretty.
married. Oh,
You're single and
absolutely.
pretty. You're single and pretty. Because if you're single and ugly, they're not gonna care. That's for men and women. I'm just being, y'all know I'm gonna be very candid. That's for men and women. If you're single and ugly, they're not gonna think that. But if you're single and pretty, they're gonna think something wrong with you. They're gonna think something's less than. So
Absolutely, Boom. I have had that experience. Well, what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
right.
Wow. That's hard to hear in some ways. That
Yeah,
As a
I mean,
man, I hear it. Been being single for 3 years. They're like, why? And you and these women and blah blah blah. Because I choose to. Y'all get on my
yeah.
goddamn nerves. That's why. I don't want to argue with nobody. I'm not trying to play this game back and forth. If it's not
Yeah.
consistency and intent, I'm good on all of that. Trust me, I'm
Yeah.
straight.
I think for men it might be a little different because I didn't feel any pressure to get married at all. I think if anything, there was pressure to stay single as a man. At least I don't know what was the pressure, but there was like this thing like, why would you get married when there's all these girls out here? There was always that, and I'm not just the only man who felt that way. I'm not the only man who felt that way. It's like, why get married? But of course, I've been married, to a lovely woman for a long time now.
But you have some women that
She
think
keeps
that you
coming
have
on the
some women
show.
that think the same way because you have women that think the same way. They like,
But we
man,
don't stay single. So if a man stays single so he can, what is the word? Oh, screw around. And that's how he's
but they
thinking.
so
I don't want that kind of man. And I stayed single. And I know I have the sense when I would go south, which meant Maryland, that my cousins who never asked me a question, of course, Thurston and I have a close relationship, but my cousins, I think, assumed that I was in New York City hoeing and partying. Like they said,
Wow.
pretty at that
Wow.
time. Pretty, single, hoe,
Wow.
partier,
Wow.
irresponsible.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
honestly the way that we're perceived just because we haven't made that commitment to just a man. Like, yeah, I've dated quite a few people, but I haven't found my person at this point. And there's nothing wrong
That's
with
it.
that. It's
Simple
more
as that.
so, yeah, it more so is that I have too many opportunities to go out and do whatever I want to do. But I mean,
Yeah, mom's pretty busy.
I should think that people find value in those that will take the time to
Yes,
learn and say,
yes.
okay, this is the person that's right for me versus this is somebody and I'm willing to endure just to be with them. No, I don't want to be miserable in marriage again.
It seems to me that society puts a lot of pressure on relationships because outside forces are trying to influence you when you're single. They're trying to influence you when you're in a relationship. Society tends to put a lot of pressure on relationships, and it's kind of tough to silence out all the noise coming from everywhere so you can focus on what's going on here, right? That's crazy.
Everywhere. They everywhere. I was doing an event, and the young lady came to the event. She spotted me. She said hello. Of course, I said hi back. And she said, "Oh, so you don't remember me?" I hate when women ask me that question, first of all. So it's like, oh, I don't know. No, I don't remember you. So she said, I was trying to get you to cheat. Now, let me tell you how oblivious to cheating that I am. I thought she was talking about on a test or something. Like, she was trying to get me to cheat on what? She said, on your wife. Seriously, that's what she said. I was trying to get you to cheat
we're talking about somebody ignorant. That's not the regular people. And let's talk about something that's a little more.
What I'm saying is those people exist. We try to deny that women don't do certain things that men do. These people exist. And so I said to her,
they maybe exist in your world because of your mentality or where you hang out. But I've never met these people. Never, ever, ever, ever.
You probably have. They just never had the conversation with you. So
exactly. Same.
Well, back to the finances though, and expectations in a relationship. Me, myself, like I said earlier in the show, if I'm making $200,000 a year, maybe it's the values that I have and that I was raised with, I am naturally going to step up and not only take care of the rent, but most things, because I brought up in our conversation before that as men, even if we're not taking care of most of the rent, thank you, Junior, you're paying some kind of way. You're paying some kind of way.
Come on, stay to the topic. We're talking dating. You keep going to marriage.
Well, no, I didn't say marriage. That's what you're going to. I'm saying a relationship.
Hold on a second. Come on. Dating.
Yeah, in a relationship.
$1 million is what you call this. You keep getting stuck on who's paying the rent. We're not there in the relationship.
Well, that's what led us to the conversation.
Friends. No, come on. We're
that's what led us to
friends.
This.
What did Alpha say? Could we put that back up? We had somebody say something and we live in a baby daddy, baby mama society.
I was trying to understand that comment.
Comment. Explain a little bit. I'm trying to explain that too. But again, I spoke about that because that's what brought us to the conversation. Finances. That's what brought us to it. And not just dating and relationship.
I mean, is there any benefit in actually discussing finances in a dating situation? Is there any benefit at all?
Not really. No. Unless you're bragging.
Shelly, it's going to come up, right? So I say to the person I'm dating, I don't know, it's going to come up, but not necessarily in specific dollars and cents. I'm going to know that, like, sometimes, like right now, I have a bottle of chocolate wine in my refrigerator. I know that a certain kind of man would go, ew, ghetto. You know what I mean? And that gives me a sense of the value. I'm like, this is good.
It is delicious, by the way. Very, very good.
If I'm having a party, if I'm inviting someone over, I might get a better wine than I might normally get. You know, so it comes up. So you just pay attention. You look at what people wear. You look at what people have on. Are their clothes ragged? Are their clothes pinned together with safety pins like mine are? But I get away with it because people go, oh, she's an artist. So, you know, but it's going to come up. How you react to it shows whether you are a human being with integrity, whether you're looking for somebody to add to your finances, or, you know, whether you're interested in building a friendship.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Alpha,
I can't even read it. I'm sorry.
Alpha.
I can't even read it.
I think it says before sexual revolution, we had better marriage. Well, we had stuck marriage, but okay. After the sexual revolution, we have baby daddy and baby mama, and now that is the status quo. I think there's some, you know, but the better marriage in my parents' generation, let me tell you, those marriages were not better, that the women were often stuck in those relationships because of they were dependent on the person to feed, like in my mother's case, her 7 kids.
And that's how you have
Okay.
that's how you have that generation that he's talking about, the baby mama, baby daddy, because now women are not staying in it. They're leaving. Like, though, I'm good. Kids, not no kids, whatever. I'm out of here. So now you have that baby mama, baby daddy dynamic in these relationships. So that's pretty much what he's talking about right there. Auntie, earlier you said something about the conversation will come up. I think it's coming up if somebody came or they knew you had chocolate wine in your refrigerator and they judge you off of that. And come up as like a judgment sort of thing. Oh, she got safety pins on her clothes, so she must not have a whole lot of money. But the conversation is not being had. Like, oh, I make XYZ a year, or I work for Amazon, but I'm a top executive at
Right,
Amazon.
and that's when a situation will come up.
You know what I mean? But so
When
if
someone's
somebody
bragging.
works at Amazon, I'm
Like,
not gonna necessarily think they're broke, because I feel like everybody works at Amazon now, and I'm just giving an opinion. Everybody works at Amazon, and everybody I know work at Amazon ain't living the highlight. You know what I mean? So
okay.
UPS, when I worked at UPS, them drivers made ridiculous money, like insane. So all of them should be top tier, and their drivers, not the executives in UPS, the drivers. I was a damn operations manager, and they was making more than me as the driver.
Well, again, it's a scenario where someone would want to talk about the money, and I'm sure we all know someone or can think of someone who's so self-absorbed they're always talking about themselves, or maybe been on a date with a person, or I have this and I do that, and the whole thing, and that's when it would come up. If you trying to really show off, especially fellas, for the young ladies, my job pays me $200,000 a year. Then it might come up, but you trying to show off now, and you set yourself up.
Let me tell you about people who make money. Men who make a lot of money spend a lot of money. Men who make a lot of money have a lot of credit card debt, because that mentality, whereas I'm going to be satisfied with a couch from Bob's, they got to get a leather couch from somewhere else, right? So they're overspending. I know I have way less debt than a lot of you people with a lot of money, because you know what? I don't have a credit card. If I can't buy it, I don't do it. I've traveled, Shelly, but I've traveled because I've saved up my money to travel. I didn't put it on a credit card. So just because someone makes $20,000, a lot of money, 200,000, it doesn't mean they have money, because chances are they are in debt. So check that out.
Aunt Debbie, I agree with you, because even in the midst of dating, I will try to assess whether or not someone is financially savvy. If they are responsible financially, that's a huge turn on. If I find out that you're making, say, $200,000, but you are mortgaged out of the hill, you have so much debt, to me, that's a red flag, because that means that you're not going to be able to sustain, or I'm going to have to pay for your luxuries as you've accumulated them. And I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Because I have to be financially stable and sound and wise too. So there needs to be a little more assessment of who the person is, not just what they bring in.
I can't put the light bill in your name.
Oh my. You know, guys I've dated that actually asked me to add them to my cell phone. Oh no, no, don't do that. No, we're dating. No.
Yeah, that's a red flag right off the bat.
You mean they want to add you to their cell phone?
No, add them onto my.
What? Girl, what?
Who does that?
Wow, that is too much. But I think we can all agree that there should be some kind of rules, and that involves a lot of communication when you start dating someone and you're getting to know that person. And I agree with a lot of. I think somebody brought up filling out the situation. You can kind of tell. There's signs. Whether you choose to ignore them or not is up to you. But there'll be signs of how someone not only is doing, but what they're doing with their finances. You might not know the total story, but there'll be signs. What kind of tip did they leave the waiter? All right, what the little things if you're paying attention, right?
Is that not a concern for men, concerned women, how financially stable they are?
Good question. For me, I never look at that because I always I always bet on myself.
You talking about how financially stable a woman is?
Yeah.
Does a man consider that?
Yeah.
Clearly, what I said earlier, dating down, they don't care. Most of them don't care. Most of them don't care. Most of them. I'm not saying everybody. Most of them don't.
Glad you
You're
clarified.
saying that most men
Get
are
out of
okay
here,
with a
man,
woman
yeah.
coming in and spending all their money haphazardly if they were in a relationship. I think
Yep,
men
as long
don't
as
care.
as long as she pretty, giving him the head that he want and all that type of stuff. Yep. Yeah. They'll continue doing it. I'll be like, what in the? But they'll continue doing it as long as she pretty and I can have this trophy on my arm and all of that. They don't care.
You know what? We could have the conversation about class here because I think some of the things that Boom is bringing up has to do with class and how men who or women who don't have, the language here, I want to be very, very careful. But in my world, which is not a high finance world, we don't think like that. So there are more worlds than the one Boone is describing. I don't know that world at all. And give me the address of that world so I can bypass it.
Well, I'm not so sure if I know that world, but I want to thank all our viewers for being part of this world today. How about that? Because our conversation is going to be coming to a close soon, everybody, as the clock is ticking away. We are going to start squeaking away so that we can get to our Sunday and you guys can get to yours. How about that, everybody? And
here's a big example of what I was talking about. The owner of the Los Angeles Clippers and the young lady that he was cheating on his wife with, clearly she was beneath him. Not in the way that it sounds, but she didn't make nothing close to what this man made because he owns the damn Los Angeles Clippers. Yet he still dated her. Why? Because she was pretty, trophy on his arm, blah, 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 blah. So that is my
different value. She had value to him. And that says a lot about him and what he values.
Absolutely.
Not about
amen to that. Amen to that. All right, everybody. I'm going to
Shelley,
start
you have
asking.
one more thing to say. Wait a minute. Shelley has a point.
No, I didn't have an additional point, but I do want to thank you guys for having me today. This was absolutely
Well, hold on, because we're going to do final comments, and we want to hear a final comment from you, obviously. Everybody, again, we're going to start making our way out so we can get to our Sunday and let our viewers get to their Sunday. Final comments. Deb, you want to start us off?
Emotional intelligence is more important than what a man makes.
There you go. All right.
Money.
I like that. I like that. Most of
I agree with that.
All right. How about Shelley? You can go ahead and be our guest.
I would say communication. You have to start having those real conversations that don't feel like it's taboo to actually ask questions. Ask questions if you need answers. Be clear about your expectation and their expectations of you. Be clear. Talk.
Wow, I like that. All right. Thank you, Shelley. Can't call you Miss Shelley Washington. Thank you, Junior. My man Junior's over here. Thank you very much for that, Shelley, and thanks for joining us today. Boom. Any final comments from you?
That's it. No, all I'm saying is communication is key all the way around the board. Communicate the proper way and you will get all the answers you're looking for. And pay attention.
Yes, I would agree with everybody. Communication is important, but also trust. Trust is earned. Trust is earned, everyone. So make sure that you trust the person that you're dating before you move into that apartment, first of all. And then there won't be any surprises. How about that? Watch out, everybody. And while you're doing that, watch out for us. How about that? Another episode will be coming to you next week, everybody. On Sunday for sure, everybody. So thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all back here next week for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. Thanks again, Shelley, for joining us. We surely appreciate that. Let's get out of here.
Shelley, I love hearing your views.
Oh, and also come back. We want you back,
Yeah,
please.
Charlie, we want you back.
And the sunlight
Oh, my
hits
pleasure.
my eyes. And something without wanna love